question somewhere. Yep, there.
As a carpenter of over 30 years, I've built a lot of high-rises in this state, in the city of Chicago, and most of them in your hometown of Evanston. I've seen a lot of these corporations take huge tax breaks
You bet.
just for building these buildings. And this is 5-7 years of tax breaks.
That's right.
What's your plan to change that?
Yeah, that's a choice. That's a choice. Here's how corporate tax policy works in Illinois. If you're a big enough corporation that you know how to hire the right lobbyists to go to Springfield, you get your taxes reduced. You get a special deal, sometimes from a municipality, you're right, oftentimes from the state government as well.
One of the first things on the agenda when they go to build the building.
Right? And if they're big enough, with enough money to hire the right lobbyists, they almost always get their way. So what happens with those taxes they're not paying? Somebody else picks up the slack. Somebody else picks up the slack. And so if you ask Bruce Rauner, what's the right tax policy to grow the economy, he would say no taxes at all. If you ask Bruce Rauner what's the right regulatory policy to grow the economy, he would say no regulations at all. That's crazy. But what we should acknowledge is that our taxes and our regulations are written for the biggest, richest corporations. It's not a level playing field. And what does that mean? It means if you're trying to start a new business, the deck is stacked against you. If you're a small business, the deck is stacked against you. If you're trying to grow a small business, the deck is really stacked against you. In taxes and in regulations. Because if the regulations make it hard to start a new business, the guys who are already there and large and successful have less competition. And if those guys are also able to offload their tax burden onto everybody else, well, their philosophy is so much the better. So it is very harmful, not just from a fairness point of view, which is what I think you were mentioning, and I agree with you 5 billion%. I'm a mathematician, I can say 5
Because when it all
billion%.
comes down, when it all comes down to it, they get tax breaks and we pick up the tab.
And we pick up the tab.
I'm getting tired of picking up the tab.
We pick up the tab. And so what I would say is we need to have guts. Because they can come to Springfield and threaten us. And usually if they threaten us, if it's a big enough corporation and they threaten to leave or not to grow, they get what they want. And what they've learned is whenever they go to any state, they get what they want. And then they've created this race to the bottom, and it's us who pick up the tab. Middle class people and small businesses. And so we need to be willing to look them in the eye and say no. We need to be willing to look them in the eye and say, we think that a level playing field here in Illinois creates a great business climate, and you should enjoy it. And we need to understand that if we have that backbone to say no, most of the time they're going to say, okay, fine, we're coming anyhow, but occasionally they won't. And that's okay, because that will give us the kind of economy we want. Not a corporate welfare for the biggest economy, but a level playing field where you're going to see more new businesses and more small businesses and more entrepreneurial activity and over time a growing middle class. But that takes guts. Because it's a bad headline the one time the company leaves. Look at what happened with Foxconn recently. Did you all follow this? It's a company that was thinking about where they were going to go and they went to Wisconsin. And for about 15 minutes, it was a terrible headline for Illinois. Oh no, they went to Wisconsin, what are we going to do? And then once people looked under the hood at the deal that Wisconsin gave them, it was absurd. It was a tax giveaway that wouldn't pay itself back for decades and decades. So we have to be willing to accept that bad headline when people first see that somebody went somewhere else, and then explain that we're accepting that hit to build an economy that actually works for everybody. Over time, that's going to be a stronger economy too. So I'm 100% with you.